have so much to say. I could go on and on about the disenfranchisement of our youth today and all of the different things that I think need to change. My parents had drug and alcohol addiction problems as well as mental health issues. And when I was around 13, I came down to visit my father in Sydney because I wanted to get to know him, and I got here and I went, you know what, I'm not going back. Although my mum was able to get clean and sober from drugs and alcohol, my father was never able to, so I was living in abject poverty. I had a mattress on the floor, I didn't have food, I didn't have sanitary products, I had pretty much nothing. He was not a great parental figure, unfortunately. If he wasn't stoned or drunk, he'd be at the TAB spending all his money gambling, and he'd leave me for long stretches of time by myself. It got to the point where it wasn't safe for me in the house, so I would couch surf on my friends' couches. If I didn't have a place to go, I would be sleeping on the trains. I think the most important thing that has ever happened in my life is that I had a youth worker who led me to Stepping Stone House, because they were the people that invested in me for no reason other than I existed as a human being on this planet. The foundation, the board, Jason. Without them, I don't know where I'd be.
I lead Stepping Stone House, or as I like to call it, serve. I'm here to serve all of the employees or my team members, as well as serve the children and young people that we support. Right now in Australia, there's 43,000 young people up to the age of 25 that are experiencing homelessness. Children and young people would typically come to us from the ages of 12 up to 25. On average, they come to us usually around about 15 years old.
I hated people. I didn't have any faith in adults whatsoever. Every kind of interaction I'd had with adults up until that point was very transactional. It was like, what can I offer them and what are they trying to get off me? Very slowly, through routine and having the youth workers there just constantly being there because they were there, I got to know that they didn't actually want anything. They were trying to give me stability and growth.
For us, it's really critical that when we're supporting our young people, we do it in a very well-rounded way, that we help them with their spirituality, with their self-esteem, with their confidence, with their skills. Our children and young people learn 806 life skills in their life. And we go through it in a very pedagogic way so that they'll learn things like how to clean your teeth. Some of our youngsters have turned up not being able to clean their teeth.
I was living with my dad in poverty, so I didn't really know much about personal hygiene in terms of periods and things like that. I didn't even know that like online banking was a thing. I didn't know that you could shop online. I didn't know how to calculate interest. I didn't understand all of the machinations in life that we kind of take for granted as things like little milestones that we all hit as we go along. Because I was so scattered within myself because I hadn't had anything to ground me, I didn't really know how to interact with people on an appropriate level. One of the first Christmases I ever had, I think, was the Christmas when I turned 17 or 18. We all went to Palm Beach for the day. They threw me my 18th birthday party in the house. Hadn't really had many birthday parties up until then. Oh, I probably hadn't had any, actually. For people that have never had reason to celebrate, getting together with a group of people, that's not the right term of phrase, because they weren't a group of people, they essentially became your family at that point. So finally having a family and a dynamic where you could celebrate the things that other kids, I felt, took for granted because they got all the time, it was pretty special, yeah. I'm still in contact with 4 people that were there around the same time as me, and although it could be, you know, up and down, it was nice to have other people that kind of knew what I was going through. People say all the time, you only get what you can handle in life, and you get to the point where you're like, fuck that, man, like, I've handled enough, I want just an easy kind of life. But if you keep just living 1 minute to 1 minute, 1 hour to 1 hour, 1 day to 1 day, you'll get there eventually.
The government needs to take responsibility for children and young people. It's written into the United Nations legislation that all children should have a safe harbour. They should have a roof over their heads. That's actually by law, that should be being fulfilled. So you can't get rehab support if you're homeless. Conversely, you can't get a home if you're addicted to drugs or alcohol. So you can't get counsel or supported housing if you've got some form of addiction. So you're stuck in this vicious circle where you've got a shortfall on both sides and you can't get support in both directions, so you stay stuck in that disadvantage.
I try and live each moment as it comes now, because having had the life that I had, I know that time is very fleeting and everything is transient. What I wish somebody had told me when I was younger: be your own hero, be your own best friend, and do for you what nobody else will do for you, and that is being open to what's going on around you. It's so easy to become jaded and stuck in your anger of what life has given you, but if you choose to keep trying and be open to the people that are around you and the opportunities that are given to you, you can make it. I wish someone had told me that it would be okay, because when I was in it, I thought that my entire life was over, and I had no idea that there was so much more waiting for me.